A typical day in the Pentagon begins before dawn. At 4:30 a.m. the first staff arrive: security teams, early shift analysts, and senior aides, preparing for the influx of activity. By 6:30 a.m. the building is fully operational, with thousands of military officers, civilian specialists, and contractors working across its 5 vast corridors. Over 200 official phone calls are placed each day, linking the Pentagon to military commands, embassies, and NATO headquarters. Around 30 cups of coffee are brewed in offices and conference rooms to fuel strategy sessions, intelligence briefings, and planning meetings. More than 1 million emails are sent and received daily, containing everything from urgent deployment orders to classified intelligence reports. Unusual events are part of the routine. Unexpected visits from high-ranking generals, emergency briefings triggered by global incidents, or sudden logistical shifts to support operations overseas. Every task, whether a brief phone conversation or a high-level decision, fits into a complex system that drives U.S. defense operations worldwide. Strategic discussions within the Pentagon are critical to shaping the future of the U.S. military and national security. One key figure in these debates is General Jack Keane, a retired 4-star general known for his expertise in military transformation. General Keane emphasizes the importance of investing in mobile assets, such as rapidly deployable armored units, drones, and advanced logistics systems, to increase the Army's flexibility and responsiveness in modern warfare. His insights influence not only military planners but also policymakers responsible for defense budgets and procurement. At the core of these strategic conversations is the Joint Chiefs of Staff, a body composed of the highest-ranking officers from each branch of the military. This committee provides the President and the Secretary of Defense with informed advice on military operations and defense policy. They evaluate ongoing conflicts, assess emerging threats, and develop options for future engagements. Their guidance ensures that the nation's military actions are coordinated, effective, and aligned with broader political objectives. Current discussions often focus on the prolonged wars in Afghanistan and other volatile regions. The Pentagon's leadership analyzes the evolving security situation, the effectiveness of counterinsurgency strategies, and the impact of troop deployments. These talks also include planning for the potential drawdown of forces, the transition of responsibilities to local governments, and the risks of regional instability. By examining lessons learned and forecasting future challenges, the Joint Chiefs and senior advisors aim to maintain U.S. military superiority while adapting to complex global dynamics. The Pentagon's approach to modern conflict increasingly relies on unconventional warfare, with special operations forces playing a central role. Unlike traditional large-scale battles, these elite units operate in smaller, highly trained teams that conduct covert missions, gather intelligence, and engage directly with local populations. In Afghanistan, for example, special operations forces have been essential in preparing the battlefield for precision airstrikes. By working closely with local resistance groups, they disrupt enemy supply lines, identify high-value targets, and create conditions that allow for effective aerial campaigns. This cooperation between ground special forces and air power has become a hallmark of the Pentagon's modern military strategy. Special operations forces are also skilled at navigating the complexities of irregular warfare, where enemies blend into civilian populations and traditional front lines are blurred. This fog of war makes decision-making challenging, requiring real-time intelligence, flexible tactics, and deep cultural understanding. To address these challenges, the Pentagon has developed new doctrines emphasizing adaptability, rapid information sharing, and integrated joint operations between conventional and special forces. This unconventional approach extends beyond Afghanistan to other conflict zones where the U.S. military faces non-state actors and asymmetric threats. Special operations units conduct counterterrorism raids, train allied forces, and support stabilization efforts. Their missions often involve long-term engagement rather than quick, decisive battles, focusing on winning hearts and minds as much as defeating enemy combatants. One significant example of this information battle involves the potential release of a video recording featuring Osama bin Laden. This recording is believed to contain statements that could directly link him to the September 11 terrorist attacks. The publication of such evidence would serve as a powerful tool to reinforce the legitimacy of the U.S. response to terrorism and counter conspiracy theories that challenge bin Laden's responsibility. However, releasing this material also requires careful consideration of timing, potential security risks, and its impact on ongoing operations and diplomatic relations. Journalists play a vital role in the Pentagon by providing transparent and timely coverage of military affairs. Unlike many other government institutions, the Pentagon allows accredited reporters to move relatively freely within designated areas, enabling them to gather information firsthand. This access ensures that news coming out of the Pentagon is based on direct observation and interviews with key military officials, analysts, and spokespeople, which enhances the accuracy and depth of reporting. The Pentagon also holds regular press briefings. These briefings serve as a platform for clarifying ongoing operations, announcing policy changes, and responding to emerging crises. The interaction between journalists and Pentagon officials is essential for maintaining transparency and ensuring that the public receives timely and accurate information about national defense. The morning of September 11 started like any other weekday, with the usual traffic jams and commuting challenges in the Washington, D.C. area. People were going about their routines, unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. A friend from Fort Belvoir even joked earlier in the day about the unlikely possibility of an attack on the Pentagon, a thought that seemed almost absurd at the time. However, at exactly 8:46 a.m. that unimaginable scenario became reality when a hijacked airplane crashed into the Pentagon's outer wall at nearly 350 miles per hour. The impact caused massive destruction, shattering the sense of security that had surrounded the building and marking the beginning of one of the most devastating terrorist attacks in U.S. history. As the plane flew directly overhead, the narrator describes an overwhelming sense of emptiness followed by a powerful explosion. The sudden roar was accompanied by sharp whistles, the screeching of metal twisting under extreme force, and the cracking of wood splintering from the impact. Instantly, the lights went out, plunging the area into darkness. Debris and fragments rained down on people nearby, creating chaos and confusion. The sound and destruction marked a terrifying moment, as the shockwave and falling wreckage left everyone stunned and struggling to comprehend the scale of the attack. The Pentagon covers more than 6 million square feet, divided into 5 equal sections. Its unique design features 5 concentric rings, labeled from A to E, all connected by 10 corridors that allow anyone to walk between the farthest points in just a few minutes. This layout supports the work of roughly 23,000 military and civilian employees, many of whom remain at their desks for the entire day, coordinating operations, analyzing intelligence, and managing the complex functions of the U.S. Department of Defense. After the fires were extinguished, reconstruction of the Pentagon began. The mission was ambitious: to restore the damaged outer ring and bring employees back to their offices by the first anniversary of September 11. This goal was not only symbolic, but also a statement of resilience, showing that the Pentagon would recover quickly despite the scale of destruction. Construction crews worked around the clock, in all weather conditions, pushing forward through rain, heat, and freezing temperatures.